Yeah, lovely natural throw, this lad. Lovely natural throw.
100.
And like Lionel Sams, who we saw earlier today, sort of struggling to get extra height on the shot. He's found the weight of the board beautifully. They both have. Mason doesn't like the block of dart there, though. And not very
57.
sloppy at the other big trebles. See that release. There is a hiatus in the wrist work.
Just wondering
66.
what on earth has happened with Mason since the break. He was breezing along 4-1 up and looking very, very comfortable. But since the break, completely different player.
43.
Lost his range completely.
Good point, good point.
Average has dropped 5, Sid, sorry.
That's right, but wondering why Mason is playing a little bit slower. Maish isn't actually dawdling on the hockey. Mason, I think, is putting too much rein on his natural instinct. A bit like Mardle when it comes to surge play.
100.
This player, Chris Mason, if it starts to go wrong for him, those darting demons will be wheeling around inside of his head.
96.
Well, it is like the advert for people who can't read. You know, it's an internal demon, and he suddenly gets them, and the flair drops out of his game. And that's what Maish said in the interview with Helen. We are both flair players.
137.
And it ain't flair. You don't like the touch paper. Maish, the more relaxed by far of the two.
134.
Great throwing from Steve Maish. Treble 18 then for Mason.
Now you see the little boy lost look there. It's more serious than it looked at. Mason suddenly loses. Double 10. Still a chance for parity.
40.
As I say, Mason sometimes loses self-confidence. So reflected in his eyes. Double top for 5-3.
That's better. And Steve Maish thinking of what might have been. He had a great opportunity there to give us a level game. To use your favourite phrase, Sid, parity. Not to be. Well, still to come, the rocket, Ronnie Baxter against Mark Walsh. Maybe we will have our complete
47.
quarter-final lineup in the 2006 World Matchplay Championships.
Very confident, sustained attack on the red bit there by Maish. Look at the last shot. There's no doubt who's the more fluid of the players. It's the man in white.
Shake of the head.
And both drift in the dart, but it's more pronounced in the case of Chris Mason. And he's starting this head shaking, which is always a negative. If you're going to kick your own butt at darts, you should do it very swiftly, or else the negative vibes come in.
That was a terrific final dart.
Well, Mason to go 3 clear. Can click this out. Shot starts with the red bit. 60. 14's handy, but it might be too late.
94.
Double 19, double 12. It's been very close. Bullseye for Steve Maish.
Oh, yes!
Shot on the ninth leg.
It's a kind of magic!
Steve Maish.
Mason's reaction, an overreaction. You've got to forget what the other bloke does at this.
Wow, did he not like that? Magic from Mr. Magic. And
54.
well, Chris Mason won the first little session 4-1. Steve Maish aiming to do the same there, but sharp shooting from the man from Southend.
It's like watching a Christmas tree with a faulty fuse.
60.
The drama of the game is reflected in Mason's eyes. He was like a kid who hadn't been given a piece of Christmas cake when Maish hit the bull.
81.
It's temperament. If anything loses Mason games, it's temperament. Wears his nerves on his fingernails.
140.
That was his reaction to the bull by the opponent. An overreaction.
It was great throwing by this man, and
60.
Chris Mason, when he starts to do that, as Sid mentioned, you just wonder. 4-1 up. An opportunity for Steve Maish to make it 5 apiece.
130.
The world's greatest reactor to bad fortune is Phil Taylor, who within seconds of a blob will be brilliant again. That's what you've got to do. Eliminate negative vibes at this. Sharpish.
87.
Why did he try that treble 19?
Each to his own. Mason.
60.
Only 60. Again, the theatrics. The theatrics reflecting his disappointment, I'm sure, negative effect on the execution of his shots. Lovely second dart by Maish.
Well, Steve Maish is,
137.
as you can see there, terrific throwing on the circuit. He's one of the players that the top pros don't want to play.
Mason got no rhythm at all now, holding forward up in the first session.
Steve, you require
So for a break,
82.
in a level match, he's bull double 16. There's the, oh, he made that look easy, 2 16s. Oh, he's blocked the bed, he's got a high bit of the bed to him at.
58.
Oh, brilliant first shot, and that last shot, Stu.
48.
Deserved better with that ball. Tops then for Mason. Important leg, important dart. Last chance here for Chris Mason.
Game shot on the
Look
tenth
at the
leg.
reaction of Mason.
Chris Mason.
How important could that prove to be? It's 6-4 to Mace the ace, but he's still troubled. The demons are still there. We'll be back.